All right. Hi, I am Caitlin over here at TherapyWorks, and I'm joined today by Michael Van Nice, one of our excellent PTAs here. And today we're going to talk about headaches and physical therapy. So a little bit of an unusual topic there. So let's just kind of kick things right off. What kinds of headaches can physical therapy help with?
Oh, the four main types of headaches, though one that's best going to be treated with physical therapy is a tension headache. A tension headache usually is caused by some form of stress, anxiety, daily worries. And so all the muscles in our face, our neck and shoulders, all of these get tight and bunched up. And that produces like this tension or coiling around the forehead and sometimes the upper part of our face. It's just like a vice or bind, right? And that's the most commonly treated type of headache that we can do.
How can you tell if what you're experiencing is a tension headache versus, say, like a migraine or something like that?
Okay, so with a migraine, typically what's going to happen is you're going to have some aversion to bright lights or loud noises. You may even have symptoms that are more common on one side of the face versus the other. You might experience some nausea with a migraine, but with a tension headache, it really is just those tight muscles in our neck and shoulders. And again, you may feel like a band around your forehead or just that general like kind of compression. Yeah.
All right. So, a lot of what we do over here at TherapyWorks is helping to educate people and help them, avoid pain in the first place. So how would you go about avoiding headaches and especially tension headaches?
Tension headaches are so common because, like I said, they're brought on by stress, by tension, just our everyday worries. There also can be caused by poor posture. So many of us have desk jobs. Now, regardless of whether we're standing or sitting during our office type work, at some point in the day, our posture almost always fails. And instead of being upright like I am right now, we almost always wind up being kind of like down and forward, right? And so that puts additional tension and stress on all these muscles. That translates up, and then that can trigger a headache. So being aware, number one, of your posture. Number two, taking time out during the day to just get away from your desk or workstation and move around a little bit, get the blood flowing. Those are some easy things that you can do to identify, know what's going on.
Yeah. Listening to that, it makes a lot of sense why a lot of people get tension headaches kind of at the end of the day. So that might be another good signal that it's probably a tension headache, is if it's always like at the end of the work day. That could be, sorry, I'm not a therapist.
No. You're exactly right. I mean, you're exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. So, a lot of people's sort of first line of defense when it comes to headaches is to reach for that, Tylenol or ibuprofen or, Advil, something like that. So, over-the-counter medicine can mask some of the symptoms of headaches, but it doesn't really get to what's causing the problem, like you were talking about, the actual tension of your muscles. So what are some ways to actually address that root cause?
Okay, so like I said, periodically throughout your workday, you need to get up and away from your workstation and just move around, right? Make sure you're, I don't want to sound like that guy, but make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day, right? Keeping your fluids just everything flushed, okay? Just a few basic stretches or activities. So like just a very simple kind of a neck and shoulder roll, just to get your shoulders loosened up a little bit. Maybe just kind of squeeze your shoulders, just squeeze them back, get your posture lined up so we're not doing this again, right?
Yeah.
You might even stand up and just do some big arm swings, just anything to get the neck and shoulders moving and loose. Yep, simple things like that.
I found that shoulder rolls really help, like backward shoulder rolls help me, especially about once an hour, because I mean, you're up and treating all day, but I'm usually sitting at my computer, and I just find that, it helps kind of remind my body to return to that position where it's not all tensed up.
Right.
And like, to be completely honest, I mean, obviously this is anecdotal and just myself. I very much experienced a decrease in headaches when I started just doing shoulder rolls. I mean, it can be that simple.
There's also 2 very simple stretches that you can do, again, for your neck and shoulders. The trick is get your shoulders down and relaxed. Just let gravity be your friend in this case. Let your head fall sideways, like so. Now I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not turning this way. I'm looking straight ahead. You're going to stretch the opposite side of your neck and shoulder. If you don't feel like you're getting an effective stretch, again, take a deep breath, let gravity bring you down. Don't try to force with the other side. Just gently reach up and gently with your arm and hand, pull you into a little bit more of a stretch there, and do that on each side.
How long should you be holding these?
So you want to hold for a slow count of 20 to 30 and see how I'm up as straight as I can be. There's going to be a tendency you're going to want to pull yourself over. Try not to do that. Try to be aware of being more upright. As soon as you start to pull yourself over to the side, you're going to lose the stretch.
Gotcha.
Another easy stretch you can try, looking down kind of towards your armpit area. Again, just let gravity be your friend. You're going to feel it on the side and the back a little bit. Again, 20 to 30 seconds. Take a deep breath. Repeat those a couple of times throughout the day. Those can also help to mitigate some of the symptoms when it comes to headaches.
Great. So, that kind of dovetails right into, these are great places to start, but it's not always enough. So sometimes people use physical therapy, but it seems kind of underutilized. So could you go into like a little bit of an explanation about why physical therapy is so underutilized for headaches?
So there are many different types of headaches, right? Sometimes it's hard for a person to know exactly what type of headache they're suffering. And like we talked about, the tension headache is the most common, most effective that we can treat. But as you mentioned a few minutes ago, there are also migraine headaches. There are sinus headaches, which are usually if you've got a cold or flu, and your sinus passages in your nose and your throat, when they fill and get blocked with phlegm, they produce pressure that causes headaches. There can also be a cluster headache, which is more common. You're going to feel that on one side of the face or the other. People usually report feeling it behind their eye. So migraines, clusters, and sinus headaches, physical therapy is not as effective, although we can do some exercises and stretches. But if you're having migraines or cluster headaches or sinus headaches, or if you're just concerned in general, it's never a bad idea to go to your general physician, get a treatment, have them do an evaluation. They may offer some alternatives. They may offer physical therapy, but it's never a bad idea to go to your primary care physician and get checked out.
Yeah. All right. So how, and that kind of dovetails right into the next one that I was going to ask, which is how do you know if you should receive physical therapy for your headaches? Because I mean, you say that maybe your general physician will send you back to physical therapy, but they don't really always do that. Or sometimes it seems that physicians don't always think of physical therapy as a tool, even for tension headaches, which you guys are really equipped to treat.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're suffering primarily from a tension headache, again, that's just the stiffness and tightness in the muscles, and you're getting kind of that band around your forehead area. Just ask yourself, how many days a week or how many times during a day am I feeling these types of headaches? And can you remember the last time that you didn't have a headache over like a 7-day period? If you can't remember the last time you didn't have one, it might be a good idea to come in and get checked out.
Yeah. And headaches, they can almost be like needing glasses. Like you don't really realize that the world can be better. Like you don't realize what life is like without a headache if you just always have a headache. The same way that you don't really realize that there are brighter, clearer colors if you just need glasses.
So there are so many different ways that headaches can be triggered. Like you said, you may need an eye appointment to get your prescription adjusted. You may have had a recent change in your medication that might be affecting you. You may be trying a new food plan or diet that might be affecting you. You may be trying to cut back or quit on caffeine. That can cause headaches. There's a lot of reasons that you may be having headaches. Again, it's never a bad idea to go to the doctor or come and get a consultation from a PT, and then either you may be a good candidate for PT, or you may actually need to go straight to your PCP. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned our consultations, because we do offer complimentary consultations. And honestly, I think those would be a great way or a great place to kind of go if you're having headaches, especially if you think that they're tension headaches, but you're not sure, because those are a great place to start and just get free advice and free kind of pointers from licensed therapists who, you know, can either help you get referred for physical therapy and get you in and start getting treated, or send you where you need to go. I mean, TherapyWorks has been around for, what is it, 28 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It's a long time. So, you know, our staff is really knowledgeable about the different resources in the community. And if you have a doctor in Lawrence or really most of the surrounding area, we probably know them and have an existing relationship with them. You know, unless they just started in the last month, we know who they are. So, you know, TherapyWorks is a really great place to start for just a complimentary consultation. Come in, talk to a licensed therapist, and just figure out what the best next step is to get something handled. And headaches are just such a perfect example of something that would be really easy to kind of get advice on where to go next.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so lots of great advice today on kind of an interesting topic, not one that we talk about nearly as much. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we sign off?
You know, the quicker that you decide to be proactive, you know, like you were saying a few minutes ago, it's a very common response to just reach for the Tylenol or the aspirin and try to power through the rest of the day and get home. Because often we associate the fact that as soon as we're done with our workday, we're going to have a chance to relax and recuperate, and the headache will go away. But if this is a daily occurrence or a weekly occurrence, the sooner you get checked out, the more options that are going to be available. And most of the time, the quicker the recovery is going to be.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much. Well, so if you are having headaches, and especially if you think that they might be tension headaches, go ahead and give us a call. Our number is 785-749-1300, and we can get you in to talk to one of our therapists and kind of figure out your next steps. So thanks so much for joining me today, Mike.
Thank you.